Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back here with another video. So in this video here, I'm out here with the 2010 Buick LaCrosse again. Got the V6 in it. This is the LLT version. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this chemical cleaner right here to put into the oil system to see if I can clean out some of the carbon. Now, one of the biggest problems that most people may already know is that this, particularly with this LLT, they had time and chain stretching issues. And what I've read from a study on that was that the time and chain really don't stretch itself. What happens is that if you don't change your oil regularly or just carbon buildup from it being a GDI engine, that you can have soot and things that get into the oil. And what it does, it causes the oil not to be thin enough to get to the pins that hold and link together, get in between there and lubricate those pins properly. And what happens is that because of that, they lose, they lose some of their diameter from rubbing, and then thus it makes it just has too much play, and thus makes the chain a bit longer. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here and see what happens. When we get in the car, I'm gonna jump on the scans tool. I'm gonna just look at a few data pads and see if there's anything changed. I'm also gonna cut the engine on here next and listen to it before and listen to it after this additive. I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the engine started up. I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet so we can listen to the engine. I'm just trying to get a little bit closer, and because I have my mic on, I'm gonna try to get my mic a little bit closer, so maybe that'll help out with the sound. So let's just see what happens here. Hopefully that gives a good accurate representation, and next I'll jump in the car, we'll look at a few data PIDs, and then we will go from there. Alright guys, I'm back here in the LaCrosse here, and I'm about to do my auto scan now. Let's see here what we have. Alright, going. We're just gonna look. What I want to do is I just want to look at a few data PIDs and compare them. I want to look at something like the ignition timing. I want to look at like probably like engine load. What I may just see what else is different. I don't really know exactly what I'm looking for, but I do know a few things I think I want to look at. And plus, once I look at the data PID list, we will have a better idea. And it's just more of a comparison, just to see, can we get some different data on top of just some practical, if the engine is to sound different or run a bit different. Let's go to engine control module 3.6 here. Front wheel drive. We're gonna go to live data. We're gonna go to just engine data. We're not gonna. All right. Let's see here. Okay, engine idle speed. We idling good. All right. Take a look at these engine loads here, around 35-ish right now, the good idle. I don't know if the barometric pressure means anything. Let's see. What I do know is that I do need an oxygen sensor in the bank 1 oxygen sensor 2. I mean, that thing is jumping around there. That shouldn't be jumping around like that. I haven't had any issues yet, but I think it's really tucked away in there. I'll have to get that out one day, but that definitely needs to be changed, because I mean, that should be stable. All right, fuel trims. This is at idle. Usually they're not quite this high, but sometimes they're around like anywhere from 0 to 6, and then but at times they go up, as you can look at the long terms and tell that they have to like trim down the fuel quite a bit, especially in bank 1. That's probably has something to do with that oxygen sensor, probably, but I'll revisit that another day. And the other thing I wanted to look at, let's see here, where's it at? Ignition timing. Now this is at 6, 5, 3, I think it was the first number. It kind of jumps around 4.5, 3.5, 2, 4.5. I just want to see what does that change anything, because here what I'm hoping this stuff does is get carbon off my off of the piston rings and off of the timing chain area, especially if it's some sort of carbon or something built up inside of there in terms of the chain, in terms of the pins that hold the chains, or either the tensioners, for example. So we may see something here. So I don't really know what else to look at, and again, like I said, it may not even make a difference at all looking at any of this, but I just want to see, will there be any difference at all? With that said, I'll be back here shortly after I put the stuff in and we'll get the car up to idle. All right, guys, I'm about to pour it back in here, but one thing before I pour it, I'm going to just turn this flashlight on so we can see a little bit. As you see how it's a bit crusty, see a little bit. I don't think this makes a difference right here in this top baffle right here, but I don't know if you can see that well, but how crusty that is. Not necessarily crusty, but down in there how I got like a little oil stain right there, if you will. But I'm just curious, will it actually even remove that? So let me go ahead and open this up real quick. I can do this one-handed here. Hold up here, let me go like this then. All right, got it coming open here. Don't want to spill nothing here. Should have done this before. Dang, this thing got a serious child lock on it here. All right, so there we go. So now this is it. This is the oil treatment. The smell, woo, that thing has a serious smell. That thing smells like some vapors. I mean, smell like some citrus type vapors. But anyway, let's go ahead and go in here. All right, well, that's it. We're gonna go ahead and get back in the car. I'm gonna use the scan tool to set the idle. It says just set it to, just to show you what it says on the can here. Wow, let me close that up. That is some terribly strong vape. It doesn't stink. It smells sort of like a, wow, if you smell like a lemon and an orange with like some other sort of spice in it, and it's like somebody just soaked a rag and then just put it right in front of your nose. That's kind of what it smells like. So it says here to, I don't know if you can read this here. It says, let's see here, remove the fill, fill it up, and run the engine at high idle for 10 minutes, then change the oil. And so I'm going to set the car here. With this particular car here, you can only set it to 1500 RPMs with the scan tool. 1500 should be plenty. I know a lot of people like to set it to 2000, but I'm just going to go with the scan tool and just use what they had, and that should be good enough. So let me get in the car. We're going to do that real quick. All right, we're back here. All right, we're back here in the car, and let's go ahead and go back out to, let's do actuation test here. I think it's on, or maybe on the special functions. No, not on the special functions. Let's see here, actuation tests, and I can't remember which one it was on there. It's been a while since. Oh, here we go. Engine speed and throttle. Engine speed, yes. And the most, again, I've tested this on various cars, and the most I can set this particular car to, unless probably I had like a GM GDS or Tech Tool 2 or something, I could only set this to 1500 max. Let me start recording. Okay, I'm recording now. So now I'm setting it to 1500 max, and it will not go any further. So I'm gonna just hit increase a couple of times. That should show you. If you hit increase a couple of times, it will not go past 1500. So it'll only go to 1500. So we're just gonna run it at 1500. That should be plenty for 10 minutes. Now, and one quick thing I'll say is that I do know that I watched somebody else do this in the car. Idles higher once this stuff starts working in, so it may even go up here. I'm not sure, because I know I was watching Scotty Kierman's video. He set the car to 2000. He said after a while the car went up to 4000 RPMs. So we'll see what happens here. See right here, the engine speed right here. If you look at the top of my scan tool right here, you can set up to 2,000 RPMs, and that was the same thing with my Think Diag. You can set an engine to 2,000 RPMs, but this particular car here, GM probably has programmed it where it only goes to 1,500 RPMs for whatever reason. Because again, I can take my other Buick and I can set it to 2,000 like no problem. The only problem with my other Buick, not really a problem, it's just you can only go up 50 RPMs at a time. This one seems to go up a bit higher than 50 per increase. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll pause this video and I'll come right back here once this is over with. All right, guys, I'm back. It's about 10 minutes almost right here. When it gets to 148, that'll be 10 minutes. Again, like I said, if I think 1,500 RPMs don't suffice, I can always do it again later, you know, at the next oil change or something. But I think 1,500 should be good enough. I was thinking about that while I was sitting here in the car, and I actually hit the RPMs. I mean, hit the gas a little bit, but only just a couple of times just to go up to 2,000. But I think overall 1,500 should do fine. Me just sitting here in the car, I don't notice anything obvious right now. I can't say that the engine is running any different. I can't say that the RPMs went up or down. The RPMs, you know, fluctuating like that has been consistent throughout the whole time here. And well, I didn't really expect much. I just wanted to see, you know, what would happen so I can document this so we all know what happens. So it looks like we're actually approaching. We don't have that much longer left. I actually rolled down my windows too, so the noise might be a little loud inside the car. Rolled down my windows just in case for some reason carbon monoxide, you know, exhaust leakage or something inside the car, so I done that to be safe. So all right, so we're exactly at 148 right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and release the control here, and that'll go back down to the perfect idle. I'm gonna just rev it to 2,000 just for like 30 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think overall I'm satisfied with this here. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Let me check the idle out here and see if I see anything different. No. All right, so with that said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil and we'll jump back out and we'll take a listen to the engine, and then after that we will look at some data periods. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Really quick, guys, I just wanted to show you what I use when I change my oil. I know changing the oil is super simple, but I got a extended link 15 millimeter that has it's a 6 point, so that way I have less of a chance stripping my drain plug. And also because the oil is hot now, I use this sometime, not all the time. This thing here by OTC, part number 5911A. It's meant to, hold on for a second, it's meant to obviously be very strongly magnetized like so, and you can screw your bolts out with it. But one feature it has on, I think most people might already know, you can take this thing right here off, and now you have a 1/4 inch anvil on the end, so you could use this with other applications as well. But I have links in the description to both of them if you're interested. Hey guys, I'm back here. So I'm inside the Buick and I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up. We're gonna take a look at some live data here and see what happens. I just want to see, is there any difference? I don't know, it's idling a little high right now. That's because normally for some reason this car idles a little high when you let it sit for a little while. So let's go here. Let's just go to live data. Let's go to engine data. That idle will go down here shortly since it's already been warmed up for one time a day. All right, so Earlier, I believe that the engine load was more than this right here. This is 31.8. I think earlier. Let me just see what happened when it goes down. Okay, so this is about the idle that we were at. So that's about the same. Barometric pressure, I don't think that really means anything. Let's go down here and look at, we're still in closed loop, I believe, or open loop, sorry. What I want to look at here. Now these fuel trims, I don't know if this means anything just yet, but they normally were on the positive side. Now they're certainly on the negative side. Let's let them run for a little bit. Let's go look at the, let's see here, the ignition timing. So it still jumps around a little bit. Like I said, I'm not saying that you should see anything, but I'm just checking these to see, well, is there anything in the live data that we can see that's any different? So the only thing that appears to be slightly different is that the fuel trims were more on the positive side, which makes sense because the long term is subtracting fuel, but it could be, okay, now it's lifting up. So maybe we just had to think about it for a little while. And on bank one, that's likely got to do with this bad. I think this bank one sensor 2 is probably on its way out. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really nothing in the live data that I can see, you know, as a DIY. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stop the live data. I'm gonna stop recording live data. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go outside, and I want to see if we can hear a difference in the engine. So let's go see. So all right, now I'm standing in front of the engine. Let me take my microphone off and wave it a little bit like I did earlier. I personally can't tell a difference. I would have to pull the videos and look at them, you know, side by side. But that's what will be coming up next in this video. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's how you flush the system and use that certain, what is it here? This 505 CRO. Not sure it made a difference, but the big thing for me, I can tell you, is this. This car has had a great service history. When I bought it, it had 111,000 miles on it. I know, you know what I'm saying, by looking at the Carfax, it did have a very good service history. And since I've had the car, I've not changed oil past 5,000 miles. And typically nowadays I do every 3,000 or 6 months, whichever one comes first. So I myself, since I've had this car since 2019, since June of 2019, I've taken very good care of this car. So again, sometimes stuff like this may not make much of a difference unless there's been some neglect in the system. So that said, that's all I got to say about this one here. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.